How's it going, Scrub Gamers? Welcome back to another video here at Scrub Games, and today we've got the set 24 new Red Beerus Deck profile here on the channel, because as you know I'm a big fan of the Beerus decks, and mainly the red ones, and we've only got a new one which added some old support which you've probably likely seen already on the channel from the Beerus Deck profile for the OG, but then we have the new one to see what kind of things we got for this, because it's a little bit different, because it's also focusing around mainly Arrival's shenanigans, but also has a little bit better way of getting more checklands that make sure you can get that multicolor energy, and also play out Arrivals a little bit cheaper. So we're going to get into the video, and we're also going to check out the leader before we get into the set, the list, and make sure before you do that, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, keep you updated with my videos as and when they drop, and by clicking the notification bell you can get alerts when my videos do drop there and then, or at a later date, or later time. So that is the end of that introduction, so we're going to go into the video now and look at the deck, and we're going to use this handy dandy interface of Deck Planet. Remember, Deck Planet is the best and only real deck builder you have in a drivable supercar game, being Masters or Fusion World. You can flip between either one, and has really easy and simple to use interface to allow you to build your decks and enjoy and even test it and even import them as well. Or even print proxies if you're going into, like, say, the webcam locals we have at the ScrubGames Discord. So, start off with the lead. We got this handy way to kind of like just enlarge it so we can see a better look at what it does. And we got the Beerus. We got Beerus on the front side being 10k, and then when he awakens goes to 15k, being Beerus pursuing the power of the gods. So, on both sides, he's got a permanent which allows you to negate the energy exhaust skill on your red, yellow, multicolored god cards in all areas, which are basically all our kind of multicolored god cards, which are all of our multicolored cards are god cards. And as well as that, on the front side, he's got an activate main, which is how you kind of gain cards. You don't really gain advantage, you just gain cards. Well, or replace cards and set up a Z energy, because the activate main is once per turn. Add one red or yellow god card from your hand to your Z energy. So you've got lose from your hand, put a red yellow card to your Z energy, setting up Z energy straight away turn 1. So you can potentially get a Z extra off the bat straight away, or even a Z-Unison. And once you pay the cost as effect, it allows you to look at the 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 red god card from your hand, and then shuffle your deck. And then the Awaken, so actually before we go into Awaken, let's just recap on that. So you got a minus from your hand to add a red or yellow god card to your hand to your Z energy, which you've got a fair few targets to put in there, and that can set up Z energy ready to go straight away. Z extra in turn 1, and then so you've then got Explosive Dance up, because every red deck's running Explosive Dance. And then you've also got then it also gives you the ability to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 red god card to your hand and shuffle your deck, so you can kind of find some things, set things up, or even get never like a check land ready for next turn. And as well as that, you also then have the Awaken, so it can help you like set up Z energy and find things through, so you're not gaining anything, but you're still setting up things that you want to set up, because it's all around bringing out stuff in the Z deck, setting up things on your board. And then the Awaken is something that activate main actually becomes useful too, because that is Awaken when your life's at 4 or less, or you have 2 on energy, so turn 2, and you have a red Z-Unison with a specified cost of 1 in play, which, once again, gets that Z energy out and needs attack, is really handy. And then you get to draw 2 cards, and that cards from your life to your hand, so you have 6 life left. So it's a more defensive Awakening, drawing 2 cards and taking your life down, but still, more cards, more things, and since you don't plus on your activate main, it's nice to get those extra 2 cards. And then when you Awaken, you now have blockers. That means you can block attacks, but then you also got the when it attacks draw 1, so we'll see a reason why it's good to have blocker and attacking also draw cards on this card, but imagine there's going to be a way to restand it, so you can use blocker. So we've seen with every leads that have blocker, they've got a way to kind of restand. So outside of that, we've already gone over the fact that it has the same permanence to the front side, but now you have a new auto. And that's once per turn when you use one of your red, yellow, multicolored god cards in the combo, and up to 1 card from your life to your hand, and then during this turn, the next time you activate a rival on a red-yellow, rival red-yellow on a Beerus card with energy cost of 5 in your hand, you just skill cost by 1, meaning that if you remember that old 5 cost from 8, when the first Red Beerus came out, that required 2 energy to rival in, that being 1 red, 1 yellow. Reducing that to only be 1 yellow to rival for a 1-drop for a 25k that has some really good effects is a man, that's really, really nice. And since you need a multicolor in your combo area to basically trigger rival, having you use a card to combo to then trigger this is really handy, especially when you've got super combos that are red yellow as well. So we're gonna have a look and see what this what's in the deck for this, but it seems pretty good so far. Like, doesn't really gain advantage on the front, but Awaken kind of compensates that. But it allows you to set up Z energy to bring out your Z-Unison, help you Awaken as the extra for like your exposed dance set for some things you want from your deck. And also on the Awaken side, you then start to attack to draw cards. You have blockers, you can defend your Z-Unison when you do drop it, and then arrival things out a little bit cheaper. So that looks really nice so far, but we have to see what the deck does. So let's have a look. So let's have a look and see in the main deck. We'll have the look at the first one. So we'll start with the multicolor cards. Of course, we've got a super combo, be an easiest way to kind of like set up the arrival and shenanigans. And since we don't have the same thing as the OG Beerus, where you can like free combo multicolor card when you drop, we're gonna have to combo cards to be able to get the arrival reduction on 5 costs, and also be able to make you like have a card for it. So we got Super Combo being a great way to do so, and also making good use in this deck by being none of the only, well, I think actually might be the only multicolor Super Combo that actually draws, and allows you to kind of make itself 10k if you hit a red card, or at least put still 10k difference by minusing something by investment by 5k if you hit a yellow card, and if you something that's both, you get both effects. You can get potentially, if you hit a multicolor card off this, you can actually put a 15k difference between rather than 10k, so it could be better than some super combos. It'd be a little bit worse, but at least it's drawing a card, meaning it's like already better than most of the multicolor card super combos. Then we have the other way you can kind of combo for free to kind of get that multicolor combo going without paying energy, without using outside effects as well with the Beerus, and also be able to arrival as well. So it rivals itself by rivaling red yellow for 1 red or 1 yellow. Has offering as well, so it gets that extra bit of a niceness in it, because offering is a really good keyword skill for and exclusively to red yellow, being when it comes down, you put it as a choice of either critting a card from critting a life or letting you draw 2. So most of the time they get you draw 2, and if they're crazy enough to crit, then that means they're in the early game where they don't care about life and would rather not have you having more cards. But as the later games go on, you drop this, they're not going to really want to give you more cards. They're not really want to crit a life when they're getting closer and closer to death, so you're going to give you more cards. So it's a really nice keyword skill, and it's the permanent that allows it to combo without needing to pay that 1 energy cost, because as you see from the combo, it's a 1 cost 5k. But if you have a red yellow multicolor card in your energy, you reduce the combo cost of this card in your hand by 1. And not only that, when it's on board, it's got a useful effect, being when it attacks, you can use it to one of your opponent's battle cards at energy cost of 4 or less, and that's in rest mode, and that card can't switch to active mode until the end of your opponent's next turn. I mean, you can lock things down as well. So already we got 8 cards that you can kind of combo to set this up, but you've also got other ways to kind of use other cards that are multicolors to combo to kind of rival your shenanigans. So then we got Never Arrival, because it's all about arrival with this deck, and we got another good one. Not one that can get a benefit of the lead so far, because it's a 4 cost, not 5 cost, and it's a rival red yellow for 1 red, so specifically just 1 red. But this comes down and allows you to replace itself by when it's played, you draw a card and then choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and minus them by 10k power for the turn. I mean, you can like make it easier to kind of clear your opponent's board by attacking into things, by reducing the power of them to make it easier to swing over, or just make it easier to combat off swings by reducing loss attacking by 10k to help out. Also has a way to finish off by using Activate Main for 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 energy. So 3 energy with one of them, at least 1 red and 1 yellow, and then you get to minus all your opponent's battle cards by 20k that are in rest mode, and then give this card 5k power and triple strike for the turn, meaning it could be like a really nice handy finisher if you need so, especially when you've got all might resistance to put behind it. And then we've got the next one being our No Holds Barred, so one of the better ones to reduce the cost, because being a 5 cost means it can get a reduction from the leader, and then be able to come down for its 1 yellow energy to then come down and either do 1 or 2 things, being when it's played, KO something that's 30k or less power, which if you incorporate with other things, reduce power, so you can then pop something quite big quite easily. Or you can use it to choose one of your opponent's leader cards or battle cards that are in rest mode, ignoring barrier, and make it so they can't switch to active mode until the start of your next main phase. So it's best of doing that during your turn, so you can make it so it skips that, it makes it in their turn they can't do it, because if you do it defensively, it's going to come to your main phase before it comes to their next main phase, so it's not going to be as great. This is more an offensive one to do, but luckily you want to do that with your lead. So 4 copies of that is a really good one as well, and we got more multicolors, so we can get the just in case we don't have these, we got ways to combo to kind of get these arrival shenanigans. And we've got a new one being Beerus Godly Greatness. Now this is a new one, so it's a bit stronger than No Holds Barred. It's a 5 cost as well, so it does have the benefit of being reduced by the leader. but its arrival's a bit more expensive, where it's 1 red, 1 yellow, 1 energy, so 3 energy, but it could reduce down by 1 red, meaning you have 1 yellow energy, 1 energy. It also has offering on it, so it's got a kind of benefit coming down and make your opponent choose whether they want to crit life or give you 2 more cards. So depending on the state of the game or how early or how late it is in the game, you can either get an extra 2 cards or crit your opponent's life. And it has double strike as well, which is good on the 20k, 30k double striker. And yeah, it's got 2 autos as well, both limit 1. The first one is when this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, and it gets minus 20k power for the turn. And then additionally, if your leader is a Beerus Z leader, this card gains dual attack until the end of your turn. So if you go into your Z lead, which you can kind of easily go into, then you can go ahead and drop this down for 2 energy instead, because you'll be triggering a leader's effect to kind of reduce the cost. And then as well as that, you can also just go and bring out a double striker that has dual attack as well. 30k is quite nice, especially if you get offering critical life. You can even get closer to finish them off, which will most likely give you 2 cards, which is going to be beneficial for you, and yeah, not that great for them. It does also have a never auto, which is limit 1. When this card is used in the combo, choose up to 1 of your Z-Unisons and a marker to it. So if you use combo this, then you get to add more markers to Z-Unisons, which is once again trying to kind of like the thing that Red does with interacting with Z-Unisons, is giving markers to it, which is quite cool. We've got 3 copies of these because White's a bit stronger, and like might be in some cases a bit stronger than No Holds Barred. No Holds Barred has that can come down for one energy for arrival, and also be able to lock things down, like take more control of the battle. Whereas Beerus Godly Greatness is a bit more expensive for its arrival, being at least minimum of 2. Does have a good effect, but then you have to need a Z lead to get the full benefit being dual attack. And then does have offering, but then it's more costly in dropping compared to No Holds Barred. So we put the 3 copies, so you can at least find 1, because it's a bit more expensive. Then we've got the last of the multicolored cards being Beerus Judge of Rule, an ever arrival card. It doesn't get the minus of the arrival reduction because it's a 6 cost, not a 5 cost. But it's a nice one. You can have a check land, also a nice way to arrival as well, because it's also when it's played, you draw a card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and rest it, and then choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unisons and give it minus 20k power for the turn. I mean, you can disrupt 2 cuts. 2 things in 1 that's drop, and it's also a deflect double strike as well, so you've got deflect, protection, unlike the other ones that don't have deflect. And also, it's got a check land effect, but it doesn't matter when your leader has that permanent. Unless you go to Z lead, I can't remember if the Z lead has the permanent as well, but if you use Z lead doesn't have the permanent, this is a handy one to still charge a multicolor even after the fact that you've Z-Awakened. So you want 3 copies of this once again, because it can be a bit cloggy, but we've got ways to combo these cards if they're dead in your hand to make use if you don't have these ones or don't want to use these ones for it. 25k double strike with deflect is pretty decent as well, especially with that auto. Replacing cards in hand is really nice as well. So that is the multicolors. Now let's go into the cards that can support us. We got Wii Precise Support, and we got Oracle Fish. We got 4 and 3 of the others once again, like we explained with the OG Beerus profile. You rather have the consistency of like searching to find things you want, which being all of these apart from Judge Ruin, but basically all of these ones you pay 4 of, even 3 of. So good 19 copies there to kind of find your multicolored cards. And whereas Oracle Fish just draw a card, which can sometimes be not useful. Like sometimes it's more useful to be searching something that you want rather than just drawing a card. And they both have the effect where you can, as long as your lead's a Red Beerus or a Wii, so you can move this card, you can warp this card from your drop to be able to combo with a multicolored card from your hand with its combo cost. Its combo reduced by 5k with its skills negated as well. Meaning that if you got some of these dead cards in your hand, these cards in your hand, and you don't want to make use of it, or you want to use some of them to help a rival because you haven't got these 2, then you can go ahead and use Whis or the Oracle Fish to be able to drop these down, use these in combos so you can rival one of the other ones in their hand. So it makes it a little bit easier there to make use of these cards even though they might be dead, just a little bit harder in this one. Then we've also got Priest, Gathering Angels, and never more 1 cost turn 1 plays that you can kind of use to help find stuff. You can even use Great Priest here to kind of find one of these multicolors, then put it in your ZNG, or then just have it get consistency going. So if you don't have turn 1 a check land or multicolor to charge and be able to have the multicolor in your energy, you can use this to find one, and then you can use the leader's effect and you combo off defensively to get that second Z energy. So next turn you can go Z extra and a Z-Unison to kind of defend yourself, to get everything set up. So the Z extra you need and also the Z-Unison you want. And then we've got some ever battle cards on the so we've got the turn 1 plays and we've got some ever plays, being Gohan facing Under Terror, more ways to kind of like control, deal with your opponent's board, like especially combined with Unceasing Rage, using that for 2 energy to kind of clear out some things by minusing by 10k with Season Rage and 10k with facing the Under Terror, and also more ways to kind of help deal with Unisons a little bit by reducing the power so you can like mark us off a little bit easier. We got Videl encountering danger because you can get your Z-Unisons out. Now, while you do want to get a 1-cost Z-Unison for the Elite's Awakening, you don't really care if it gets removed or it can be gone. You just want it there for Awakening, awaken early, so that way you can start swinging the, actually gain advantage by swinging the draw, and then yeah, just have it stick around and have it a way to kind of distract from your lead by having it go to Unison. If it goes, you can bring out a better Z-Unison, being a free cost and more, and Videl is a lot better because you can have 3 Videls but only 1 Yamcha. You rather have more Videls, considering Z-Unisons are going to be available anytime, and then if you draw into them and draw into Videl, you can get Z-Unison out and have it live. And once again, we got 3 Defeating Demon. You'll see like these two in most of these red decks I play because I do love the Z-Unisons, and the Z-Unisons being accessible makes Videl a lot better. And Gohan's just a very good card. It is in every red deck really, because it's just negging, counterplay, blocker, double strike as well. It does almost everything you want. Then we got Galactic Explorers because we got Z-Unisons and decided to put more of these in my red decks. That way you can kind of get moral markers so the Z-Unisons survive a little bit better and last a little bit longer. But also having something that you can just potentially pop out to say hi and put some pressure on. And as you've probably seen, this is a great way to just come in and out of your Z-Unison, giving it markers each time it goes back under. And also being a way to kind of push more pressure on by for free markers off a Unison, coming out, minusing your opponent's board by 30k, and then giving a triple attack. You can get 3 good swings out of it at 30k, which is quite decent, and then put it back under, and then if the Unison's got +1, you've only really lost 1 marker to kind of do that. You've got 2 copies because you want to try and see it, so you can go ahead and throw it, and there's not much draw power compared to the OG Beerus, but there is a decent amount. Then we got Mass N, as well, since we don't have like a drop reliance outside of Whis, you can always like use the Whis beforehand before using this, or the Oracle Fish, so you can get those combos. The Secret Identities to help deal with like wide boards and get some free pressure by 25k is quite decent, and then controlling like getting rid of like tokens that are dropped from token negates and some other things on board could be handy to help like continue a push. And in our secret rare, we haven't gone for Burst and Rage because even we can, because once again this leader has a Z leader, I decided to go for the SSB Kaioken Vegito because it's a nice way to kind of put some pressure on, because if you then just keep getting drawn, just basically going through and just keep a decent hand, and with All Might Resistance, you can push through for a very good aggressive swing, because having this as a 40k triple striker that comes out for essentially free if you've got a Z-Unison with three or more markers on, it's quite nice, and since you can just like mill, use burst free to kind of mill cards from top of your deck and then warp 3 cards in your hand. If you've got enough cards in your hand and in your deck to kind of push through with a counter to back it up, could be a good way to kind of finish off games and put your opponent in a bad position. Especially since you're going to be pushing them down, hitting them, like going dropping offering, pushing pressure with other things as well. It could be a bad time for your opponent, especially since you can, as long as you can find this. And then we've got the standard Explosive Dance, 4 copies of Explosive Dance to kind of our floodgate to kind of survive until we get the later games, just like hold off until we can get our way to like crack back and win it, beat them. And then All Might Resistance to allow you to like push some of your players through, mainly the secret rare, so you can be digging for the All Might Resistance, secret rare, and then get enough cards in hand, even if it requires taking a few quite a bit life, so you can then crack back and just go, I'm going to drop this 40k triple strike, swing at your face, counter to like push it through to make sure you have to take this attack, but also minusing things off the board and removing those pesky little blockers and stuff like that, and just making your opponent have to combo out. Especially 40k base is very hard to handle, so you can reset it and keep doing it over and over again. Means your opponent doesn't have a good hand, it's going to whittle down like very quickly. Like this, I feel in some decks could be pretty decent, like how the Golden Cooler is, but this one doesn't quite, is like free to play in a majority of decks, and in this kind of combination with a red leader with red yellow, allowing have all Might Resistance to push through is pretty nice. So that's the main deck, kept this at 50 so we can get that consistency going, because with the change in the mulligan rule, we don't want to be putting too many cards in deck to then brick more, so we're going to keep it at 50 for the consistency's sake. And in Z deck, once again, we got another 9 cards. Got the same kind of, I think, the same kind of Z deck as the old OG Beerus, because they both have the same flexibility. Where we've got the Well, we got this time. We got two. I don't know why. Maybe I've messed up here. We've got two copies of the Beerus. I kind of made this wrong. I think I got them mixed up. But we got two copies of the Z-Unison because I think originally I did have Burst and Rage, so I thought, wait a minute, no, let's have the Vegito. So we got two copies of this. We can probably switch this out for a different one. So I think this is meant to be more copies of a Never card in here. So two copies of Beerus Z Leader. So it does have blocker, and it also has like the leader. So we'll see if there's a way to restand it. Also does have it when you rival in your turn, you draw a card, so you kind of mitigate the fact that you're minusing a card by rivaling something out. Or if something that does rival draws a card, you're getting a +1 from that. And he also draws on swing still and has the same kind of also that reduce the whole arrival of a 5-cost Beerus card when you combo with a multicolor card. Already had a multicolor card anyway. And it does lose the multicolor multicolor check land kind of like check landing. So having the Judge of Ruin helps when you're on this side of the lead to be able to chuck down a multicolor card without any rest, which is quite handy because you're not going to go this until you're like 3 or less life, because that's what the requirement is, just a red energy, 3 or less life on top of a red Beerus card. Then we got the one copy of Whist Attendant, Whist is the God, as a way to help us awaken, and this one is a bit more expensive because it requires you to have 2 Z energy and just at least 1 energy for it to come out. So it can come out with just 1 marker, but it's got a auto which allows you at the end of your turn to switch one of your red Red Beerus cards. Red Beerus leaders to active mode, so you can swing your lead and then restand it, so you can have the blocker life to protect this. And then you got the activate battle, which is your +1 marker skill, which allows you to choose up to one of your red and multicolor god cards in your hand and combo with it. So another way to kind of combo with cards in your hand that isn't the Beerus there. So while you got this on the board, you make use of this more than you make use of the ones that drop. And once this is gone, or if it does go, make use of the ones in the drop. And the other auto is a -6. When your opponent attacks, negate the attack, and then your opponent can only attack 2 more times for the turn. So negate the first attack, but then limit to have 2 more attacks, which is like the same kind of floodgates some decks got and some colors have. Then we've got one copy of Great Priest. I think this extra beer should be an extra Whist or an extra Grand Priest, being a good unison that could bring out. Make use of those ones you drop that's getting used up, or going to basically die the next turn. So you can chuck it under, get more pressure from this, and even then redirect attacks to your lead. So your lead can block one. Then on the next one, you can then redirect it back to your lead again, be it 20k or 15k, to kind of get some shenanigans going. So a very nice one, very aggressive. Another SSG Son Goku Crimson Deity kind of removes the need for Kaioken Goku to be able to minus things through by 25k for barriers, so your barrier removal built into a Z deck that's accessible at any point and being a good unison as well. We've already gone over this, why this one's good for the other red elite decks. Oolong, because once again, we got we're a red-yellow deck, we've got yellow energy, so we can bring this out, especially when it's using the Vegito secret rare. Being able to copy that for a last swing for 1 energy and 2 Z energy is very, very good at a 40k base for 1. Goku as well, so I've dropped the for this one, I dropped the SSB Vegeta because I felt it's not as useful when you'll be using Z energy for more of these things rather than that. And we're not going to accumulate as much really because we're not going to we're going to combo a lot, but then we might not be as much use out of it, and we've got other plays we can do. And this is just a nice handy way to kind of reduce your opponent's life to kind of push through, especially if you drop this, and if you got 4 energy, and then you got Z energy out from the turn prior with 3 or more markers on, you can bring this out to reduce your opponent from life from 4 to 3, and then bring out the secret rare, so you can then be at death range with all my resistance to back it up. We got Vegeta as our removal. We got SSB Kaioken as our disruption and kind of like help tapping things down, keeping that control aspect that yellow provides in this deck. And then the Z extras, they help make explosive dance live constantly. So again, there shouldn't be 2 Beerus leads in here. There should be something else. So you can make your choice of what else you want to put on. If you want to put more Whist, because Whist could be useful, like cheaper Z extra, or if you want to have never one or never copy the other cards, feel free to choose. But that is my list for the new Red Beerus. So if you have any questions or any suggestions I haven't covered, feel free to go comment down below and see what what suggestions you have or what questions you have, and answer as best I can, or take into account them, because I do want to try this out, because I do like the Red Beerus leads, and while I prefer the OG one, this one is quite interesting. So that is it from me today. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.